According to my source, the end of the world will be on February 14th in the year 2016.
Valentine's Day. Bummer.
Well, it looks like the world is ending sometime today, but what better way to face the apocalypse than by reviewing Super Bowl commercials? First up, Amazon concluded a series of commercials featuring Alec Baldwin and Dan Marino preparing for a Super Bowl party. I'm not sure what it says about me as a person that I appreciate serial storytelling in my commercials, but I do know that I want an Amazon Echo almost as much as I want Alec Baldwin's Snack Stadium. Budweiser paid Helen Mirren to verbally lash any idiot that considers drinking and driving, but apparently couldn't pay her enough to actually drink the beer in her hand at the end of the ad. Michelob Ultra, on the other hand, used their 30 seconds of ad time to pretend that their beer is remotely related to exercise. Butterfingers had a good one featuring a bull rider jumping out of an airplane. I'm a fan of silly commercials that raise the bar on absurdity, but Butterfingers has a long way to go before they top the Old Spice guy. But then there's just trying too hard, and I'm pretty sure that Mountain Dew's Puppy Monkey Baby crossed that line. And speaking of babies, in what might just be the most uncomfortable football commercial ever, the NFL dedicated 60 seconds to a musical showcase of children conceived during past Super Bowls. I guess nothing says let's make a baby like hot wings and watching dudes run into each other for a couple hours. The Doritos commercial had a much funnier take on childbirth, easily the funniest commercial of the game, which of course meant that it offended a lot of whiny people.
Give me that!
Of course, if anything's gonna stop this year's batch of Super Bowl babies from being born, it'll be because the Hyundai commercial presented women with the thought of a world inhabited by nothing but Ryan Reynolds, making all men look inferior by comparison. Kia, on the other hand, made an ad about Christopher Walken wearing socks on his hands, while Honda's commercial featured a herd of sheep singing Queen's Somebody to Love.
Somebody, anybody find me? Somebody to...
Car commercials are weird. In a rare twist, my favorite car commercial actually focused on the car they were selling. Who would have thought that the premise of a high-speed chase with a Toyota Prius would become comedy gold, but here we are. Schicht continues to know how to sell me things. I'm not in the market for a new razor right now, but if I was, their commercial featuring razors that transform into fighting robots would weigh heavily on my decision. Meanwhile, LG probably would have generated more interest by just telling me about their new TV rather than coming up with a Tron-inspired adventure narrated by Liam Neeson. T-Mobile had an odd commercial based on the premise that other wireless carriers ruin everything with their deceptive advertisements while they, as the Un-carrier, would never resort to such practices. This commercial would be a lot more convincing if T-Mobile weren't currently in the midst of a controversy for overselling their Binge On service. However, even that commercial had more self-awareness than the Quicken Loans ad that literally advocated for creating another housing bubble with easy mortgages. You know, the same kind of bubble that caused the financial crisis of 2007 when it finally burst. Speaking of fiscal irresponsibility, United Healthcare may be projecting $720 million in losses from Affordable Care Act plans, but that didn't stop them from buying 30 seconds of ad time to show a guy breaking his hand punching meat in a Rocky joke. Wix.com went full meta for their ad. The commercial for their web design service is secretly a commercial for Kung Fu Panda 3, in which the characters talk about making commercials. These cross-promotional deals always leave me wondering who pays who. Does Wix pay DreamWorks to use their cartoon characters for the commercial, or does DreamWorks pay Wix to piggyback onto their ad time? Or do they just call it even? Speaking of movies, the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles flick continues to not look terrible. The 30-second Super Bowl spot gives us our first look at Krang in his robot body. Deadpool, continuing what has to be the most entertaining movie promotion campaign ever, had a relatively lackluster ad, to be honest. Meanwhile, Captain America Civil War just reminded us that it's coming with as much football-related imagery as possible. Coca-Cola got in on the action too, creating a Hulk vs. Ant-Man scenario that I can't help but point out couldn't possibly be in continuity. Independence Day Resurgence got their own big game spot. Aliens, patriotism, and mass destruction. What more can you ask for? The Jungle Book also continues to look good, but it's not really making a great case for seeing it in 3D. The trailer for 10 Cloverfield Lane doesn't reveal anything new about the mysterious movie's plot, but at least we know the entire movie won't take place in John Goodman's bunker. Matt Damon is back as Jason Bourne, and...
My God, that's Jason Bourne.
That's really all that needs to be said about that. Gods of Egypt may have some questionable casting, but I can't say it doesn't look fun. What also looks fun is The Secret Life of Pets, because how can you go wrong with dogs rocking out to System of a Down? And finally, in what may be their first Super Bowl commercial, Nintendo really didn't advertise anything. Instead, they used their airtime to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Pokemon franchise. And I feel old now. In TV news, the upcoming Star Trek series just got a lot more appealing. CBS announced this week that Bryan will be acting as a showrunner for the new series. Fuller launched his TV career writing Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Voyager before moving on to create cult classics like Dead Like Me, Pushing Daisies, and most recently, Hannibal. CBS's new Star Trek series will be an exclusive to CBS All Access, serving as a lure to bring in people to the subscription-based streaming service. But while Fuller will be expanding science fiction, researchers at the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory have confirmed the existence of gravitational waves. Theorized by Albert Einstein 100 years ago, gravitational waves are distortions in the fabric of space and time. Like ripples in the water, everything that moves produces gravitational waves, but they are extremely hard to notice. It's taken the power of a device that can detect changes in light down to 1/10,000th the size of a proton to detect a wave created from two black holes colliding. While gravitational waves may not make a huge impact on day-to-day life, they provide a new method for scientists to observe the universe that isn't limited to electromagnetic radiation. Over in video game news, GameTrailers was unceremoniously shut down this week after 13 years online. One of the pioneers of providing gaming-based media online, GameTrailers not only served as a resource for video game footage, but launched several game-based news and entertainment programs. The site was purchased by Defy Media in 2014, who immediately let go of more than half the full-time staff. Facing heavier competition from YouTube in recent years, GameTrailers officially packed it in on Monday. In other video game news, it seems that Sonic the Hedgehog is heading for the big screen. In an interview with the World Folio, Sega Sammy President and CEO Hajime Satomi announced that Sega is working with Sony Pictures to produce a CGI live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie for 2018. Or, more accurately, re-announced. Supposedly produced by Neil Moritz and written by Evan Susser and Van Robichaux, this movie was actually announced in 2014, but information has been slim since then. It's unknown what stage of development the film is at now. And finally, Nintendo is continuing the celebration of Pokemon's 20th anniversary with some cross-franchise promotions. Over in Mario Maker, 3 new Mystery Mushroom skins have been released for the 3 original starters, complete with their original sound effects. Meanwhile, Squid Kids will have to choose between Red and Blue as Splatoon starts a Pokemon-themed Splatfest on Saturday, February 20th. And that leaves us with this week's awesome video. Dark Pixel has released another animated video game mashup, this time mixing Star Wars with Mario Kart. And that's everything for this week, so what was your favorite Super Bowl commercial? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video, and have a great Valentine's Day.